Hello, everyone, and Merry Christmas. Today, on this festive day, we're gonna be looking back on my top 45 forgotten Thomas and Friends characters who deserve to be remembered, part 2. Now, on the first video, I did left off some other characters that I mentioned, but here I will be mentioning them without wasting any more time. Let's begin. Number 25 is Boulder. Boulder is a giant, mysterious boulder who lives up high on the mountains of Sildor. He only appeared in the episode Rusty and the Boulder. Boulder appearing in one episode kinda kinda it didn't impress me that much, for I would like this sentient rock to be a returning character in the show. As I said with the others, it could be a reoccurring antagonist. Number 24 is Scruffy. S.A. Ruffy, also known as Scruffy, is an old, experienced truck who had a bad attitude. Because of his age, he is the ringleader of the troublesome truck. He encouraged the other trucks to cause problems for the engines. Scruffy is known for being a ruthless advocate for bad behavior. His antics eventually lead to him being pulled apart by Oliver. Whoa, that sounds crazy if you ask me. Well, I would love for Scruffy to be remembered for. I remember that there was that. I remembered that he's been trapped in a cave in one episode. It would have been nice if he was saved by the Fat Controller and given another chance. I would love for him to be remembered, even though he was a troublemaker. Number 23 is Fearless Freddy. Fearless Freddy is an old narrow gauge tank engine on the Skarlory Railway. He is known for his daredevil tendencies and fearlessness, which earned him his nickname. Bob Golding was going to voice Freddy, which meant that he was planned to return. In my opinion, Fearless Freddy should have returned a long time ago. I would love to see him in action. I would love to see him meet the other narrow gauge engines like Millie, Victor, and Luke. Number 22 is Smudger. Smudger is a narrow gauge tank engine who used to work on the Mid-Solar Railway and was later turned into a generator due to his tendency to misbehave and derail frequently. Smudger was planned on being brought back along with Bertram. Smudger should have gotten a redemption arc. Despite what the fan videos, the search for Smudger will tell you, I see Smudger and Bertram as separate characters. Number 21 is Proteus. Proteus is a legendary yellow narrow-gauge saddle tank engine with a magic lamp hung above his funnel. He was voiced by Keith Wickham in a Thomas audio book called Storytime. Now, that sounds cool. If this character was brought on screen, he could have an introductory episode, an episode that explains why he is so special, you know? Number 20 is Bertram. Bertram, nicknamed the Old Warrior, is an old narrow-gauge tank tender engine who worked at the mine. He lived on a remote part of the island that was once very rarely visited. He was going to return with Smudger, but never made the cut. It's a shame that Bertram never came to the big screen in CGI. I would love to see him in action and interacting with the new narrow gauge engines as I mentioned earlier. But overall, nice. But overall, it's very nice. I appreciate it. Number 19 is Caroline. Caroline is an elderly car owned by a cricketer from the Ellsbridge Cricket Club. She later helped the Fat Controller reach Lady Hat's birthday until she overheated and broke down again. I feel sorry for Coraline. She didn't deserve to be left in the dark. She should have been remembered. The characters in CGI should have mentioned her as paying respects to her, but nah, sometimes we can't get what we want, if you know what I mean. Number 18 is George. George is a grumpy steamroller whose interactions with engines generally lead to trouble. He is owned by the Sodor Land Council. He was going to appear in the season 23 episode Free the Roads, but got replaced by Max Monty instead. It would have been awesome to see George interacting with Boji. It would be a awesome homage. No, not homage. An awesome thing that should have happened. Number 17 is Mighty Mac. Mighty Mac is a double-ended narrow-gauge engine with two faces. Mighty is older with a distinctive small flick of hair, and Mac is younger with a distinctive youthful features. They are conjoined twins who only works at the shunting yards. I feel sorry now. Mighty Mac, they deserve to be remembered for they're kind of cool, and I think Fearless Freddy would get along just fine with these two, and they deserve to be remembered. Number 16 is Dennis. Dennis is a lazy diesel engine who made his debut in the 9th season episode Thomas's Day Off. He was going to appear in the movie Day of the Diesels, but got replaced by Norman. Now, if Dennis were to appear in this movie, it would be super cool. For I would love to see him in action, causing some mischief in the steamworks. It will be an intriguing sight to see. Number 15 is Boko. Boko is a green mixed-traffic diesel engine who primarily works on Edward's branch line and occasionally on the main line. He, along with Edward, is a mentor to Bill and Ben. Andrew Brenner wanted Boko to return, but Mattel refused. You know what? Mattel should have brought back Boko. He's like very iconic. Like, why introduce a character if you're not going to feature them much, you know? Number 14 is the logging locos Bash, Dash, and Fernand. Now listen, I understand nobody likes these three characters because they have the same personality, which that I can agree on. But listen to this. Imagine there was an episode where Sir Topham Hatt trials them and sees if they're, well, imagine he trials them, wanting them to prove to him that they can be really useful. Now, that sounds like an interesting concept. I might make a video of that someday. Number 13 is Flora. Flora is a yellow steam tram who works for the Sodor Tramways in Great Waterton. She has her own tram car, which is her pride and joy. Flora was new to the railway when Thomas first met her. I would love now Flora. She's a fabulous engine, and she really does deserve to be remembered. For how can you not love her? She's pretty and kind. She definitely deserves this spot. Now, number 12 is Fergus. Fergus is a traction engine who works at the Sodor Cement Works. He was insistent on getting other engines to do everything right. Fergus was once sent to work at Farquhar Quarry with Mavis, Bill, and Ben. Now, Fergus, he reminds me of myself. Always want everything to be done right. I'm not kidding. I really am, and I'm not kidding. He really does reflect my own image. Number 11 is Hank. Hank is a big American tender engine who first arrived on Sodor. Thomas and Percy first met Hank at Brenham Docks. Andrew Brenner wanted him, along with Boko, to return. I would also love for Hank to return, for he is also an iconic character too. But sadly, that never happened. Which I say, screw you, Mattel. Number 10 is Splatter and Dodge. Splatter and Dodge are two diesel engines who appeared in the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad. They worked alongside Diesel 10, who who referred to them as Splodge. Splatter and Dodge were going to appear in the movie Day of the Diesels and The Great Race, but were replaced by Paxton and Sydney and the mainland Diesels. I I know that these two didn't do much in the I know that these two didn't do much in the movie The Thomas and the Magic Railroad. They were useless in the first place, but maybe they could have been useful if they helped the Steamies with work. That would have been nice, and I would love for these two to be remembered by their foolishness. I didn't mean to put it that way. I apologize. Number 9 is Duke. Oh. Duke is an old narrow gauge steam engine who was once known as the Lost Engine. He appeared in the 4th season of Thomas and Friends. Duke was planned to return in the episodes Kevin the Steamy, The Switch, and Luke's New Friend. It would be nice if Duke appeared in one of those episodes, and I think Duke would be a great father figure to Luke. Wouldn't you agree? Number 8 is Molly. Molly is a bright yellow tender engine who primarily works on the main line and is never seen on branch lines usually. She appeared in the season 9 episode Molly Special. Molly made her last appearance in the Great Discovery movie. I would have to agree with other YouTubers that Molly should have deserved a spot in the Steam team along with Rosie, but instead we get these two Mary Sues, Nia and Rebecca. I don't hate them, I like them, I really do, but it would have been better if Molly and Rosie took Edward and Henry's place. Just my opinion, don't take it personally. Number 7 is Neville. Neville is a diesel-like tender engine who is gentlemanly, highly enthusiastic, and kind. He made his debut in the episode Thomas and the New Engine. I like Neville. He's a pretty nice engine. Like, you can't tell me he doesn't look so kind and you want to be his friend. I would love for Neville really does deserve to be remembered since he didn't appear much in some of the episodes, only like a few. Number 6 is Billy. Billy is a bright orange tank engine who can be stubborn, impatient, and bratty. When he first arrived on Sodor, Billy misconstrued Thomas's advice for bossiness, and so referred so refused to listen to him. Billy was going to appear in the episode Splish, Splash, Splosh, but got replaced by Charlie. Now listen, I understand everybody hates Billy, and I get it too. Don't dislike me for including this character. As I said, it's just my opinion. You don't need to agree with me on everything. But maybe if you did, maybe the creators could have given him a different personality. A different personality where he can be likable. In my opinion, he deserves to be remembered. Number 5 is Derek. Derek is a large green diesel engine who is known for his initial teething problems. He was sent by Sir Topham Hatt to help Bill and Ben with their work. Derek, he's cool, and he really deserves to be remembered. He may not did much in the show, but he really needs some love, you know? Number 4 is Lady. Lady is a magical Victorian-style tank engine who serves as the guardian of the Magic Railroad. She uses her magic to keep the world of Shining Time and Soda War alive. She first appeared in the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and her last appearance was in Calling All Engines in a Dream. All of you, hear me out before you start disliking me. I understand no one likes the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I get it, but I like it for I think it's interesting. May and Lady, she deserves to have some love, you know? She deserves to have appreciation. Maybe if she were to be brought back to CGI, you can just the writers can just rewrite her to be a normal engine who's very kind to everyone around her. That would work, you know. Number 3 is Stephanie. Stephanie is a Bluebell engine who was saved by Rusty. He was named after a district in London. Stephanie lives and works on the Bluebell Railway. His friendly, enthusiastic attitude makes him a welcomed visitor on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. Stephanie, he's awesome. He should be remembered for saying his iconic catchphrase, Bluebells Forever, but sadly he didn't live up to that since he hasn't appeared much in newer seasons, but I'm not too ashamed about it. Number 2 is Arthur. Arthur is a big maroon tank engine originating from the London, Midland, and Scottish Railway and runs the line to the fishing village. He was first brought to Sodor by the Fed Controller as a goods engine and shunter. Arthur is amazing. He is an amazing character. He cheers me up. His personality really cheers me up, and he should be remembered. He should and must be remembered, is what I'm saying. I apologize for hesitating. I'm always shy for some reason. Now, before we get to my top pick, here are some few honorable mentions. Mrs. Kindly. She only made 9 appearances. The refreshment lady. She appeared in a few episodes. Little Giant. They would have been number 17. Sam. He was featured in Sam and the Great Bell, A New Friend on Soda War, and Big Road Big Adventures. Logan. He was only featured in Logan and the Big Engines and A Friendly Farewell. Etienne. He only appeared in The Great Race. Dustin. Only appeared in the books. Sir Loam Hat. He only appeared in 1 episode. Bo. Only appeared in Big Road Big Adventures, the movie. P.T. Boomer. He was deleted from the movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Vinny. He was only featured in The Great Race and Big Road Big Adventures. Now, my number 1 Thomas and Friends character who deserves to be remembered is Murdoch. Murdoch is an orange tender engine that pulls heavy goods train. He was brought to help out the engines with their heavy workloads. Because of his size and strength, Salty and Harvey were eager to learn more about him. Murdoch deserved a spot on my top 45 forgotten Thomas and Friends characters who deserves to be remembered. Murdoch is also relatable, for I'm a person who wants peace and quiet. Murdoch is a lovable and relatable character that really does deserve to be remembered. Now, what do you think about this list? Did you like it or hate it? Whichever case, let me know in the comment section below. That's all for this video. Goodbye and Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays.